Every once in a while, an individual comes along who captivates the imagination. They lift us up out of our seats, inspire our hearts, move into action, and challenge us to always reach for higher ground. They have an incredible story that not only beat the odds, but broke through the chains of impossibility. They teach us about faith, character, hard work, freedom, and the power of the human spirit. They reveal to us that defeat isn't final or fatal, that we can all make a comeback in our own way. And they make the rest of us ashamed of our own unwillingness to be the very best that we can be. This evening, I have the honor of presenting such an award with the NEA President's Award. It's impossible not to be moved by the incredible story of Chris Gardner. There was a time in his life where his brother lost everything, his home, where this brother lost everything, his home, his wife, his friends, and he even lived on the streets in San Francisco. But one thing that he did not lose was his passion for life. He didn't lose the power to believe and the will to fight. He embraced the old expression early in life that if you are going to fall, fall on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up. Without question, without question, he epitomizes what W.E.B. Du Bois used to say, there is in this world no such force as the force of a person determined to rise. The human soul cannot be permanently chained. Not only did he get up, he lifted other people up along the way. Yesterday, he pursued happiness. Today, he is living the American dream. He is the American dream. His story is the American dream. We all know he has fame and fortune, passion and purpose. He can do anything and go anywhere in the world at a moment's notice. But more importantly, his greatness and highest achievement, they've come from what he has given back to others. He lives up to the creed that greatness isn't what happens inside the ring when the whole world is watching, but what happens outside the ring when no one cares any longer. He has raised and given away millions for charities, and for almost a decade, he has made it possible for us to give our Education Support Professionals of the Year a financial award at our annual ESP conference. Ladies and gentlemen, a man whom I truly call a friend of public education, a friend of NEA and a friend of mine. The NEA President's Award honoree this evening is Mr. Chris Gardner.
I'm so glad I didn't leave early. Hold that for me. I don't know what to say, but first thing, Reggie, look here. You can introduce me anytime. you know when the biggest movie star in the world decides that he's going to do his next film based on your life changes. It gets strange, man. Mother Mary, I'm on a plane some time ago. I'm taking my first vacation in a long time. My office does not know where I'm going. I got no BlackBerry, no cell phone. I'm out of here. I get on the plane. Hold up. I get on the plane. I get nice and comfortable, and I say to the flight attendant, hey, what's the movie? That's strange. That is strange, man. I almost got off that plane. And every time I see any piece of that film, I have the exact same thought. Those people spent $70 million to recreate what I did with nothing. That is strange, man. That is absolutely strange. One of the most incredible experiences that I had while we were filming, one day we hired 250 homeless people to be extras in the film, a day's work for a day's pay, no handouts. A couple walks up to me on the street and they say, "We want to thank you because we're both working, but we're both homeless. We've been living on the streets for 6 months. And all we needed was another $500 to get a house." And think about that for a second. $70 million gets spent to make a movie, $500 got a family off the street. That says something about how we value people. Unfortunately, the reality is, and a lot of folks don't know it, 12% of all the homeless people in America have jobs and go to work every day. In some communities, that number's as high as 30%. Working families, homeless. I'm not talking about the guys outside with the cups. And a lot of those children, they come into your classrooms every day. And y'all know who I'm talking about. I don't want to belabor this point, but I do want to share this with you. I don't want to be right, but we are about to see the creation of a new class of homeless people in America, something that I call white-collar homeless. Folks who went to school, worked hard, played by the rules. Guess what? The world changes, you're screwed. Case in point, my old firm, Bear Stearns. It hurts me to my heart to see what's happened to that firm, but the reality is, you hear the guys on the news programs, Reggie, they talk about this guy lost $1 billion, that guy lost $500 million. What about all those secretaries, clerical people, support people? What about them? What about them? Think about that for a second. Think about that for just a second. Some of them folks that worked at those companies for 20, 25 years have been putting that stock away every year thinking I got my nice little retirement nest egg, $2 or $3 million, I'm gonna be okay. You wake up one morning, Dennis, and guess what? That $2 million is worth nothing. You're 55, 57 years old. You got to go out and find a job in an industry that is contracting, not expanding. White-collar homeless is happening as we speak right now. The last thing I want to share with you is this. Probably my favorite scene from that whole movie, directly related to education. It was not written as you saw it. The scene I'm referring to is the scene that took place on the basketball court. Our writer had a very dim, dark view of the world, and when the little boy said his dream was, "I'm going to become a ball player," the father said, "Forget that. It'll never happen. I couldn't do it, so you can't do it." I went up to Will Smith on the set that day, and I said, "You can't tell that to that little boy, because that's not what my mother told me. You can't tell him what he cannot do." We tore up the script, and what we wrote was, and I've heard from so many parents, and especially parents of children with special needs. I've heard from so many parents every day. I tell my son, I tell my daughter every day, don't ever let somebody else tell you what you can't do. When somebody else is saying, something can't be done, what you got to hear them saying is they can't do it. Right. So, NEA, thank you. God bless you. And Reggie, look here, man. Come here. Let me tell you something. Now, they say you're retiring. I want to tell you two things. Number one, there's a desk at Gardner and Company waiting for you. All right?
All right.
All right? That's number one. Number 1A, you done all your good work. You done helped a whole lot of folks. Now it's time to get paid. All right?
All right.